It's been a while, of course, since you have seen me in a tie. That's the most important thing. No, it's been a while since we played Football Manager. Been feeling just not really about it. Most of all, I've been playing Fire Emblem. I wax and wane with various games. Sometimes I'm really into them, sometimes I'm not into them at all, and then I'll come back a while later. However, this average Joe save has been on my mind for months. Basically, since I stopped playing it on and off, thinking, oh man, I should go back to that. Oh man, I should go back to that. Never really found the time where I had a huge desire to get back into it. However, now that we finished most of the Fire Emblem series and taking a break from that, up front we have three people actually under contract. First, we've got the 23-year-old target forward Adawi Mohammed. No youth caps, 23 years old, target forward on support. We have Adis Sabotic. I'm just going to pretend those accents aren't there because I can't pronounce them with or without it, so we're not going to bother. Okay, we've got this man Norman who's going to try a very... Are you going to also try a fancy free kick? Oh my goodness. He's not a normal free kick taker, but if he can do that kind of... I mean, it wasn't magical, I will say that. Yeah, okay, it was a little bit magical. Our first goal with the club in club play, Norin with a very nice free kick considering the division we're at. Don't know what his likelihood of permanently staying with the club is, depending on how much he's willing to accept. If the answer is he's willing to work for free, then he's in, and he can play games. Anything more than that, and I don't know if we're going to be able to sign him. Luckily, we've got plenty of time before our next Liechtenstein match continues on, as I am worried about how long we're going to be able to stay as the head coach of the Liechtenstein team. Because apparently, even though the team is awful, one of the worst in the world, considering our population size, they expect us to get wins regularly. Shocking to me, I know. But I guess they just don't want runaways, which admittedly our matches hadn't been. I still don't know what they expect me to do, though. Change things around and hope for the best. Okay, Ekdal, do you have it in you to miss the goal by a mile? Yep. About the only thing you can do with free kicks. We're playing for set pieces, but mostly it's just corners that we're playing for. Got a bunch of tall, jumpy lads. Okay, Norin, once again, with the free kick. Maybe some more Norin magic? Oh my goodness, this guy's a miracle worker. Going forward, all of it, yes, definitely Norin. Another problem that we have is Liechtenstein, especially with our national team, is that because we're so close to Austria, and a lot of our players end up playing there, it's very easy, if they're good enough, just switch over and play for the Austrian national team. So many of our players who are good enough will go over there instead of staying in Liechtenstein. So we only get the best players who are left. Which still, we can get some decent players. Don't get me wrong. But nowhere near the caliber of people we could certainly have if that was not a possibility. As our team is firing on all cylinders. They didn't give us a lick of a chance. But loans and frees. Loans and frees. That's all you need sometimes. If you get a good tactic that seems to counter off other tactics, I like this 4-3-3. Very, very narrow. Sometimes you just win. And win a lot. 1 day's wages, and he is willing to accept his fine of a day's wages. For him, I think, is nothing, because I don't think any of our players are being paid much of anything at all. At worst case, it's like $1. And honestly, I think it could give up $1. Balance is probably going to be about 100,000 in debt by the end of the season. Can't imagine how that's possible. Not my fault. £100 a week that I'm paying more than I'm supposed to is only going to be, what, $1,000? I guess a few $1,000s. Which, it's not the monster. I think I know I think it might have been me, actually. I think I'm not paying people salaries per week, I'm paying them per game. I'm giving them like $100 per game each. And that's what's hemorrhaging our cash. So it probably was me. But I'm going to continue to pretend it wasn't. And keep my job. Okay, another man through the door. Oh my goodness. When citing that man, I did not even bother to look at his name properly. That's not how letters work. Almqvist? Sure, we'll guess that. Gabriel Almqvist. You need a nickname. We'll get right on that. Now, Norin, though. A good position. Boom. Bam. Okay, Norin. Man, you are amazing. I mean, these are all pretty good curvatures on them as well. It's not just that he's good at, he scores them a lot because we're in a low division. He does curve all of them around the wall and is able to hit the side of the net without bouncing it off the crossbar. It's a good shot all around. Considering his skill is only a 7, that is pretty incredible. I really need to do well enough in this division so that next year, if I end up sticking around, they'll give me more money to play with. If I can get like 500 pounds a week, I can win this division. No questions about it. Also, if they wanted to like pay me under the table, because I'm losing 150 pounds a week to tax, so somehow they wanted to, don't do this in real life, of course, but in video games, slide it under. Extra 150 pounds a week payroll budget would be very nice. Applegren, run, Applegren, run! Send it left, send it left. No, we're going to keep running. Going to take it all the way. Goodness me. Cross now. Yes, Saluka. I guess as long as the thing ends in a goal, it works out. I just didn't think they quite were ready for that. I feel like we had a bunch of tall people in the center. They could have just sent the cross in for a header, but goes what I know. Thus far, probably only lost 7,300 pounds. Yet our overall balance is negative 20,000. Don't think the math is quite math in here. Norin with the throw in. Back to Norin, cross to the center to Ekdal. Around to Desi with a screamer from outside the area. Finally is able to get on the scoreboard, which is surprising considering he's a midfielder, I think? Not unreasonable, just unlikely. He just weaved that through 3 guys who just stood there and watched it fly past. Very impressive. That's not where our players are there, Verster. Taki was able to get control of that. All the way back. For the top for Robbie. Robbie tries to center it. Ends up with Applegren, who he really wanted that bicycle. He wanted that in his highlight reel, and he just should not have bothered. Holy cow. Mikas Vinovich. Mikas over the top. Osler, not able to do anything with it, as none of our players are all that tall. Very different compared to our club save, where everybody's a giant. Here we are struggling with size. Also struggling to pronounce the enemy players' names. Why I haven't bothered. I'm always very scared when they're on the attack. They can score at any moment. Stober. No! Stober! No! No! Yes! The highs and low. Oh. Okay. Calm the chest a little bit. We need this win. I mean, that's how outmatched we are in basically all of international play. Against 10 men, they had doubled our XG and probably should have won that match. Yes, we maintained possession, but our shots were atrocious, mostly due to the fact that our offense is terrible. They think we have what it takes. I inspire to have your confidence. I think we're going to get absolutely destroyed, and it's not even going to be close. But as long as our players think otherwise, I guess we have a chance. Timer. Pick over the top. In our blue and reds. Wow, we just let them have that. Okay, sure. Well, I mean, it can only go up from here. Let them score a minute. Well, no, it actually can't. It could go way further down. Speaking of, I still look so weird. Like the facial hair is the same color as the actual hair. It's not a toupee, though it very well looks like it. This average Joe here is just a stay-at-home, do-nothing, growing out the facial hair. Really should probably go for a haircut and a trim if he wants to be taken at all seriously, because my goodness, is it just bad. As it looks like we are getting No! Oh, you've got to be kidding me. He just moved out of the way! Did he seriously just move out of the way of that goal? He just walked around it. Goalie. I'll be going through here. I do think it's funny how one of our worst players who are not going to be playing is joining a team called Felt Out Moron. Moron BK. Unfortunate name in the English vernacular, even with the umlaut. But it continues to amuse me every time I see it. Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Feel free to follow links down below if you want to see some of my content, and I will see you all next time.